Okay, in this video I'm going over the huge matchups that Dana White decided to announce today. These are pretty exciting. Merab Dvalishvili versus O'Malley 2. This one is very interesting, but it also has a lot of dumb aspects to it that we'll get into. We have this. We have Carlos Prates versus me and Machado Garry. Ian is stepping in to fill Jeff Neal's spot, which I think is a pretty baller move on his part. Carlos Prates is slick and dangerous in this division, and for Ian Garry to do this on short notice is very admirable. With that being said, I still hate him. Also, we have Volkov versus Almeida, and we have Kayla Harrison versus Juliana Pena, which I should have put before Juliana Almeida versus Volkov, but who cares? We're going to start with Merab Dvalishvili versus O'Malley 2. So, this is the rematch. The long-awaited rematch for these two. Except for nobody was awaiting it and nobody really asked for it right now. But at the same time, I understand why they're doing it. It's a huge matchup, and I am glad they're doing it. I still think it's super interesting, and I don't see Merab fighting anyone else. I wouldn't have liked to see a matchup for any other matchup for Merab. So O'Malley getting this shot makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense to a lot of people, which is going to be a big thing in this matchup in general. A lot of people have problems with this, that O'Malley's just getting an immediate rematch when Aljamain didn't, when a lot of fighters haven't. O'Malley gets to just wait out, get surgery, come back to a title shot. It doesn't really make much sense since he only had one title defense. But with that being said, he has a ton of star power, a ton of finishing potential, and I am probably going to lean towards O'Malley in this fight because he's already been in there with Merab once. He knows what to expect. He's had surgery to correct any bad bullshit to go on. He's taken enough time off to refresh and not enough time off to be considered inactive, I would say. And he's already been in there once with him. He's going to kind of get the groove down. And I'm not saying Merab isn't either, but as the fight went on, Merab definitely succeeded, but in the fifth round, O'Malley kind of gave him a lot of trouble in the fifth. If O'Malley can start early and he cannot fear Merab's lack of finishing potential, which he shouldn't have feared in the first fight, I think O'Malley will push a better pace in this fight. I think he'll start finding his shots earlier, and I am gonna predict an O'Malley knockout in this fight. With that being said, Merab won the first fight, so he could just do the same thing. I would think that O'Malley would adjust. He is very slick striking. I think he will adjust. If he doesn't, obviously Merab's gonna win again. But with that being said, is Merab gonna adjust? Does he feel like he has to? I doubt it. So I think if anybody's gonna improve on like knowing the other fighter's agenda going into their matchup, I would say it's O'Malley, and that's why I'm gonna pick him going to this fight. But anyway, it's very interesting. June 7th, UFC 316. I'm excited, to be honest. And Merab is staying very active, which is also cool. And if he wins, he's the bantamweight GOAT. And if O'Malley wins, do we do another rematch? Do we just keep doing this fight over and over forever? We will see. They also have a weird friendship now. They were like in the jacuzzi or whatever and making fun of Khabib's like thing. And they have this little like friendly thing with their two groups. So I wonder if that's going to play a part in this fight. A lot of things, but it's very cool, and I don't really have a problem with it. Surprisingly, a lot of people, not surprisingly, a lot of people do, but I don't really. So yeah, next, Ian Machado Garry. God damn it, Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates. So Ian steps up on short notice to fight Prates. Jeff Neal pulls out, and Ian steps in. Very interesting, if I do say so myself. Ian Garry, he's been doing a lot of this short notice bullshit for a little bit now. He did it against Shafkat, and now he's doing it against Prates. Two very dangerous fighters in the division. I don't like this matchup for Ian Garry with no camp. I know he's going to be in shape, but I don't like it for him. Prates has had his whole time to know about a fight. It's not the same fight. Ian Garry's definitely a different matchup than Jeff Neal. But how Ian Garry did against Jeff Neal, even how he did against Shafkat, which isn't a bad thing at all. He did very good against Shafkat. and how he did against MVP, he's very good. And he could, if I see him winning, it's by grappling Prates down and making it really boring, which he's kind of very good at. But Prates, we don't really know the extent of his wrestling defense. We know it's good enough. We know he chinned Neil Magny after stuffing some takedowns, but it's very interesting to know what Ian Garry's game plan will be going into this fight if he wants to try to trade with him, because he is the same similar height and stats in that way. So I'm excited to see what they decide to do, what Ian decides to implement his game plan as, and same with Prates. I'm sure Prates will go in there looking for a knockout, and that is what I'll predict as well. I'm going to predict Prates by knockout. He's very fucking slick. He has a bigger reach than Ian Garry, even though he's taller than him, I'm pretty sure. Prates is just very fucking good, and I think Ian Garry is in kind of a... He's kind of due for a knockout loss, I think. He has a very tiny head, and he's been cracked sometimes, and he got rocked by, like, who was that? The Asian fighter that rocked him that's not good at all. I forgot his name. But I think Prates is going to knock him out. But with that being said, we don't know Prates' 5-round cardio, and since he smokes a ton of cigarettes, we know it's not awesome. And we know Ian Garry will probably be able to go 5 rounds. So, I think if Prates gets him out early, which I do think he'll do, it'll be an easy night for him. But if Ian Garry wants it to go the distance by making it boring and he succeeds in that, then I could see it going Garry. It's a very interesting style matchup, and I really want Prates to win. But I'm not 100% confident in him. So yeah, next. Volkov versus Almeida. So this is stupid. Volkov beat Cyril Gane, and now he's fighting Almeida, which is okay if they're going to do it, if they're making it a title, like, if there's title implications involved in this matchup, then I'm okay with it. Then I'm perfectly fine. Cyril Gane should not be fighting for a belt anytime soon at all, ever again. Really, he shouldn't. He should fight Pavlovich probably, and either I think he gets chinned by Pavlovich, or we kind of know the blueprint of how to beat Pavlovich now, and Volkov was kind of the blueprint, and I could see Cyril Gane implementing that game plan as well. But as far as I'm concerned, Almeida would have fucking taken down and submitted Cyril Gane in like 2 seconds. I'm not even joking. I know Almeida's not, he's not that good, and he couldn't finish Derek fucking Lewis, but at this point in his career, at least. But Cyril Gane's ass. I just think he's bad in the grappling department against anybody that's athletic. And Almeida, if he's anything, it's athletic. Volkov, though, has good takedown defense. He has very good takedown defense. He has very good striking. He's going to have a height advantage, which he has in every single fight. He's going to have the striking advantage by a mile. I think Volkov can win this fight pretty easily, to be honest. If Jalton Almeida can not finish Derek Lewis and not finish some of these guys and looks kind of shit and gets ground and pound just hammer fish to the side of the head by Chris Curtis, I think Volkov can have a lot of success in the same departments Chris Curtis did. Not Chris Curtis. Curtis Blades. What the fuck? Can have a lot of success in the same ways Curtis Blades did, but a little bit better. I think Volkov's size will play a big part in this. And if it's an on the feet battle, Volkov fucking smokes Almeida. So I'm gonna go with Volkov to stuff the takedowns and just piece him up on the fucking feet. Those are my thoughts about that. Jalton will shoot a lot. If he wins, I'll be very disappointed. So I'm going to go with Volkov to win. And I think he will. I think this is it's not a layup by any means. Jalton's very good. But I do think this is very winnable, and I'm very confident in Volkov. Next. Finally. Juliana Pena versus Kayla Harrison. So, Juliana is not that good, but she's okay. She's champ. Kayla Harrison is not that good. As we know now from her last fight, she looked weird and sloppy at times. But at the same time, she is huge and ripped and will take down Juliana Pena. And I don't think I can, with confidence, at all I could pick Juliana Pena to win this fight. I just think she's bad. She could win, to be honest. I'm a lot less like 100% confident in Harrison, but Pena, I don't think she's going to win. I think Harrison will grapple her. I think it'll be boring. I do think it'll be a decision. So yeah, I don't think Kayla Harrison's going to be the star, crazy dominant person we thought she was going to be going into the UFC, but I do think she will win this fight by decision and probably be champ for a while, to be honest, until Amanda Nunes comes back or whatever. But those are pretty much my thoughts about that fight. And yeah, that's about it. Some cool matchups. And I'm very excited to see what happens with them. I'll see you soon.